Hi, my name is Jenna Davidson, and I'm a 2016 honors graduate.
Excellent. Can you describe what originally interested you about doing a capstone project as part of the honors program?
Capstone project affords students like myself the opportunity to work with a mentor in a discipline that they are interested in. I am interested in becoming a business consultant with a focus on sustainability.
Excellent. Can you describe the process you went through as your project developed? How did the project change as you went along, and why?
I was originally interested in building my project off of something that would contribute to Peninsula College's sustainability campaign, I guess. I was interested in putting a garden on campus. However, I quickly realized that we don't have a summer attendance. So after visiting a pea patch, I resolved to answer the question of how I could optimize a backyard garden. And the average backyard garden in this area is 100 square feet. So by answering the question of how I could optimize it for the most economic yields, I was able to analyze a small system and build some of the skills I would need later.
What were some of the biggest challenges you encountered during the project, and how did you deal with those challenges?
One of the biggest challenges of the project was finding data for estimated yield for a small crop space. There's a lot of data for large-scale farming. However, it was there's not much for backyard gardens, and not much for backyard gardens in the Pacific Northwest. I was eventually able to make conservative average assumed yield per unit based off a combination of taking the averages of large-scale farming as well as Harvest Table's garden guide with approximations of yield.
What were the most important goals for the project, and how did you achieve them?
The most important goals for my project was to produce something that my mentor and myself would be proud to present, and to build these skills that would both showcase my ability to do the work in the field that I'm interested in, as well as just building my critical thinking skills.
What were the most important things you learned by doing this project?
I learned that in a simple system like a backyard garden, the element that made the most impact was the intensive and sustainable gardening techniques. I was able to make an approximation of the cheapest backyard garden that I could possibly build with all of the inputs and off of capital investment and recurrent costs. However, things like potato boxes and hanging planters and intensive square foot gardening made the most difference for yield, and not necessarily things like cold frames or more technology or more expensive seeds. So that was very interesting to me, and also how I thought about value changed as I progressed through my project. I was originally thinking that I would need to plant vegetables that grow well in the Pacific Northwest and are the most expensive to purchase in grocery stores. However, when I looked at the data of the expected yield per square foot per crop, that was one way of looking at value. And then another way of value was looking at how much yield you could produce per square foot and with an element of time. You can only grow so many vegetables per month, as well as some develop more quickly. And so my original list of vegetables changed quite a bit by the time I was done analyzing the value of each crop, which is something that is a key result of my project, is what crop choices I would make change significantly.
What are some things you would do differently if you could do the project again?
If I could do the project again, something I would do differently is focus less on the biology of the plants and creating an optimal growing environment for them. I mean, those aspects are important, however, they weren't as important as collecting the data and making assumptions and really looking at the charts of value that they could possibly produce. So I think it was all important, but I would have liked to get a little bit farther in my research on what are the limited constraints, or how much value you could produce within the limited constraints.
What are some areas of study or ideas that came up during the project that you would like to explore further in the future?
The biggest thing I want to explore in the future is how much value 100 square feet and the 32 plant varieties I chose could possibly produce within 12 months. I would probably need to figure out how to create an algorithm or something along those lines to synthesize the data, and I would excluding taste preference and all the confounding factors of a garden, have an idea of how far your backyard garden investment could go in terms of economic yield.
How do you think your project contributes to the body of knowledge in one or more academic disciplines?
I think this project is fairly original and very specific to this area. I think a lot of people garden based on their ideas of what a garden should look like, as well as what looks nice. And I don't know if the focus is always on supplementing your monthly budget with producing food. And that may very well be, however, by synthesizing what is the most valuable crop, that's definitely contributes some new information. When choosing your plants, you normally operate off of taste and budget. However, through this project, you can change your habits through looking at optimal value per month.
Thank you. Can you reflect a bit on your overall experience of the honors program? What are the most important things that you got out of the experience, and how do you think the program will contribute to your future learning, both formal and informal?
Well, informally, I will pursue my education in reading the great books. I was introduced to them in the first year of the honors program, and it was absolutely invaluable. I really didn't know that they were out there, and that I really had a craving for more of a liberal arts education. And due to the Lyceum Club being created on Peninsula College campus, I know that other students are also desire the same education and knowledge. As for my experience on campus, it's encouraged me to really take charge of my education and seek out the best instructors that I can and make connections with them, and also enriches every class based off the interdisciplinary approach.